Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting language arts lesson. Today we will be looking at the strand phonics. I know that you love phonics. I do too. So let's get right to it. We have been looking at the story The Bun Shop. It is there in your reading text. I know that you love that story. And so we will be looking at some of the words that are in the story. We want to be able to identify the words and we want to be able to pronounce them correctly. So you're going to listen to me and we are going to be engaging in some exciting activities. Let us look at our objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to 1. Pronounce words with the ed ending correctly. 2. Use word wall to identify rhyming words and spell sight words. 3. Demonstrate the use of word sorts to categorize words with the same ed ending. And 4. Read at least 5 sentences from the text which contain words ending with ed. Now, boys and girls, I want for you to scan your reader quickly and see how many words that end with ed you can identify. I have done it already, but I am going to give you the opportunity to do so. So take a minute. Here is my list. What do you notice about the list that I have here on the screen? Yes, boys and girls, they are all verbs. And we know that verbs are action words or doing words. Also, they are all ending with ed. Okay, boys and girls, remember we are looking at how to pronounce ed. I have a few questions I want for you to bear in mind during the lesson. Here they are. What do we know about adding ed to the end of verbs? Does ed always sound the same when placed at the end of verbs? How many different sounds there are? What are they? I know that you are anxious to tell me the answers to these questions. However, I do know that some of us don't know the answers. And so we are going to be learning a lot so that we can answer these questions at the end. Let us continue. There are 3 sounds to the ed when placed at the end of verbs. Did you know that? I know that you did. Do you know the sounds? Well, let me tell you. Ed can say id. I says I and D says d. When put together, they say id. The second sound, ed, can say d. The letter D says d. And the third sound, ed, can say t. Did you know that? Yes, boys and girls, there are 3 sounds, id, d, and t. Follow closely, listen carefully, and join with me. We are going to be learning a lot today. Now, boys and girls, I want for you to get your musical instruments in hand because we are going to be singing a song. Now, this song is to the tune, Sammy plant piece of corn down a gully. You know that tune? Yes, let us do it now. Pronouncing final ED is very easy. Pronouncing final ED is very easy. There are three sounds to remember. There are three sounds to remember. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. You must know them and use them correctly. You must know them and use them correctly. Now, you're going to join in with me. Let us go. 1, 2. Pronouncing final ED is very easy. Pronouncing final ED is very easy. There are three sounds to remember. There are three sounds to remember. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. You must know them and use them correctly. You must know them and use them correctly. Did you enjoy yourself as much as I did? Oh, yes, you did. Wonderful. Let us continue because I know that you want to do some practice. For us to remember when to use these sounds correctly, we must bear in mind a few rules. Let us look at the first rule. The past tense ending sound id is only used with verbs that end with a t or d sound. When added, it creates the sound of another syllable. For example, the verb want, want, becomes the past tense verb wanted, which is pronounced wanted, forming two syllables, want and id, wanted. Let's try another one. The verb need, need, becomes needed, a past tense verb, and is pronounced needed, forming two syllables, need and id, needed. The verb decide, decide, becomes the past tense verb decided, decide, forming three syllables, decided. Let's try another one. The verb dedicate, dedicate, becomes the past tense verb dedicate, and is pronounced dedicated, forming four syllables, dedicated, dedicated. Remember, boys and girls, you can tell how many syllables a word contains by simply placing your hand beneath your chin and count the number of times your chin goes down. Say the word dedicated slowly. How many times your hand went down? Yes, boys and girls, 4 times, indicating to us that there are 4 syllables in that word. Now, let me do it for you. Dedicated. You see, my chin went down 4 times. So, there are 4 syllables in that word. Have you been learning so far? I know you are. Let us continue to the next sound. Now, boys and girls, for this sound, we have to know about what is voiced sounds. Voiced sounds are those sounds that cause the throat to vibrate. By touching your throat, you will feel vibrations as you make these sounds. Do it along with me. Put your hand on your throat. Repeat after me. B, D, G, Z, V, L, R, Z, J. Did you feel the vibrations? Oh yes, our throat vibrated for all of those sounds. Therefore, all of these sounds are voiced sounds. Your throat vibrates because your voice is on. The second rule that we are going to be looking at says the ed ending of voiced sounds takes on a d sound when placed at the end of verbs. Here are some examples. The verb clean, clean, becomes the past tense verb cleaned, cleaned, and is pronounced cleaned, having only one syllable. The next example, the verb dream, dream, becomes the past tense verb dreamed, and is pronounced dreamed, having only one syllable. A few other examples. The verb save, save, becomes saved, and is pronounced saved, having only one syllable. Let us pause here. Notice the verb save. A e is at the end of the verb. When we add ed to it, we drop the e. Therefore, the past tense verb saved is spelled saved. Let us continue. The verb enjoy, enjoy, becomes the past tense verb enjoyed, and is pronounced enjoyed, having two syllables still. Try that one. Put your hand beneath your chin and say enjoy. Enjoy. Two syllables. So when we add ed to that word, we have two syllables still. Let us continue. The verb worry, worry, becomes the past tense verb worried and is pronounced worried, having two syllables still. Let us look carefully at this verb again. Worry, worry, ends with a Y. And as you know already, we change the Y to I before adding the ending. So our past tense verb worried is spelled worried. Okay, boys and girls, we are now going to be looking at our final ed ending sound. Remember that there are 3 sounds. We already looked at id and d. So we are going to be moving on to our final sound. Anyone remembers? Ah, I know you do. Now, we have to learn about unvoiced or voiceless sounds before we can look at the last sound. Voiceless consonants at the end of words do not use the voice. You will feel no vibrations at your throat. Instead, just a short explosion of air as you pronounce these sounds. Put your hand on your throat and repeat after me. P, t, k, s, sh, ch. Let us do it again. P, t, k, s, sh, ch. Have you noticed that there were no vibrations? Wonderful. Your throat does not vibrate because your voice is off. That is why we call it unvoiced or voiceless sounds. Now let us look at the rule, the last rule. The ed ending of unvoiced or voiceless sounds take on a t sound when placed at the end of verbs. Here are some examples. The verb laugh, laugh, becomes the past tense verb laughed and is pronounced laughed, forming only one syllable. Another one. The verb walk, walk, becomes the past tense verb walked and is pronounced walked, forming only one syllable. By now I know you've got it. Let us continue. The verb kiss, becomes the past tense verb kissed and is pronounced wonderful, kissed, only one syllable. The last one. The verb finish, becomes the past tense verb finished, having two syllables. Okay, boys and girls, let us sing our song another time. You will notice that there are 2 more verses to it. Join in. Are you ready? Let's go. Pronouncing final ed is very easy. Pronouncing final ed is very easy. There are three sounds. There are three sounds to remember. There are three sounds. There are three sounds to remember. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. Id, d, and t are the three sounds. You must know them and use them correctly. You must know them and use them correctly. If the verb ends with a t or a d sound, if the verb ends with a t or a d sound, then the ed, yes, the ed takes a it sound. Then the ed, yes, the ed takes a it sound. If the verb is voice, it takes a d sound. If the verb is voice, it takes a d sound, such as looked, enjoyed, and worried. Such as looked, enjoyed, and worried. If the verb is voice, it takes a t sound. If the verb is voice, it takes a t sound, such as walked, laughed, and finished. Such as walked, laughed, and finished. Okay, boys and girls, I know that you love that song. I do too. And in your spare time, you can sing it and sing it and sing it so that you learn the three sounds. Now, I have a short quiz for you. You are going to look at these words, pronounce them, and tell me the sound that is at the end. Remember, we are looking at the three sounds, id, d, and t. Let's begin. What's the ending sound? The word is whimpered. The ending sound is d. Did you get it right? Try another one. What's the ending sound? The word is visited. The ending sound is id. Did you get that one right? Try another. What's the ending sound? The word is touched. The ending sound is t. Okay, boys and girls, we are going to be engaged in a fun activity with our word wall. I have prepared it for you. All the words were taken from the story. What's the story again? Yay! The Bun Shop. Finding words that rhyme. That's the name of our activity. Look at the word wall. Yes, boys and girls, they are all past tense verbs and they all end with ed. But remember, they don't all have the same sound at the end. Look at this word. What is it? Yes, it is the word wanted. Which word on the word wall rhymes with wanted? Ah, yes, the word insisted rhymes with wanted. Can you find another? I am sure there is another word that can rhyme with wanted. Look carefully. Yes, the word needed. Pat yourselves on the shoulders. Beautiful. Let us try another one. This is the word asked. It has the t sound at the end. Can you find a word from the word wall that would rhyme with the word asked? Yes, boys and girls, the word stretched. It has the same ending sound. Can we do another one? This word says crowed. Yes, boys and girls, it has the d sound at the end. Can you find a word that will rhyme with the word crowed? Lovely, I see that you are getting it so well. The word rolled rhymes with crowed. Lovely, I enjoy that, and you can do it with your friends at school. Let us do another activity. Are we ready again? Okay. We are going to be categorizing our words based on their ending sounds. Here we have some words on our chart. They are all words that we have been using. Now, they are all mixed up. We want to categorize them based on their ending sound. So we are going to be doing that now. This is the word wanted. The ending sound is id. So we place it here. Let's do another one. This is the word touched. What is the sound? Yes, it is the t sound. So we put it over here. Let's do another. The word picked. Picked has the t sound at the end. So it goes here. Okay, boys and girls, I am going to do just one more. The word is worried. What's the sound? D. So we place it right here. Now, I am going to do, no, I'm not going to do any more. I am going to give you the opportunity to do the others on your own. You can write off the words and then do up the columns just like this and do it on your own. Or you can just think about it. Take a minute. Wonderful. Now I know that you are learning. Let us continue. Okay, boys and girls, now that we know our 3 sounds, we can go ahead and read our story fluently, ensuring that we pronounce each word correctly. Here are a few sentences that were taken from the story. I am going to read them aloud. You can read along with me and listen carefully to the ending sound of the words that are underlined. Remember, boys and girls, it is important that we pronounce our words properly. Here are the sentences. The van dropped off the buns along the way to the small shops in the other districts. Joan was proud of the bun shop and wanted to be a baker too when she grew up. Joan got out of bed and stretched. She cultivated cassava and made bammies. She warned as she rolled a bun and placed it in a baking tin. No violence, she added. He stood for a while, looked around, and then started to climb the wall that led to the window. When Tony faced Grandma, he whimpered a little. When they visited, her grandchildren had fun rolling to the bottom of the hill where the mango trees seemed to share their laughter. Did you enjoy those sentences? I sure did. Now go ahead and practice reading your story, The Bun Shop. Make sure that you pronounce all your words properly. Let's review our objectives. Remember, we had said that we wanted to achieve some things at the end of our lesson. Let's see if we achieved them. Did we pronounce words with the ed ending correctly? Yes, we did. Did we use word wall to identify rhyming words and spell sight words? Yes, we did. Did we demonstrate the use of word sorts to categorize words with the same ending sound? Oh yes, we did that. Did we read at least 5 sentences from the text which contain words ending with ed? We just did. Wonderful. You have been great students today. I do trust and hope that you enjoyed this lesson. I know that you are eager to go and tell your friends and share with your family and teachers. So go ahead, enjoy it. Be the best you can be. Thank you.